Hi folks, I'm trying out a new camera angle this time. I've just set it all up there on the old well, it's on the door of the shed at the moment, but it seems to be alright. The picture seems, well, it looks alright to me anyway. So anyway, let me know. Anybody let me know what you think. If it's better than before, no different, whatever, who cares. I'm just trying to make it easier for myself, really, just because I've got to keep setting up the tripod to move, all I've got to do now is just plonk the camera in there and a selfie stick. I'll put a couple of brackets on the old door light and it, well, looks alright, I think, anyway. Anyway, how's you lot? Is you coping alright with this bloody lockdown still? I just ordered some stuff this morning on flowers. I looked at the website the other night and it said they're opening due to government restrictions and all this, but they're on skeleton staff sort of thing. So it said, like, you have to wait quite a while for your stuff like you have anyway. So I mean, I thought, nothing to lose, I might as well bloody order what I need. So I ordered it, I sent it on email, and I got an email this morning saying, oh, they're closed. So I don't know what's going on. So I wrote them or they're not. I don't know what's happening now. So anyway, well, all I can do is just try and do some restorations, what I can try and make parts for myself. That's all I can do. Anyway, let's get on. Enough chatter. Well, it's going to be chatter anyway, but anyway, nice few mentions here for people who's left the old nice comments and all that. Paul Raynham, John Davey, Barry Shaxton, Marty Clack, John Lystander, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, Pimp My Diecast, Chris Smith, Tony Dolan, Where To Now? That's a new one. Craig Wilson, Keith Edmonds, and Paddy O'Brien, and everyone else. Thanks for all your support and the nice comments. And oh yeah, nice thanks, Paul Power. I don't know what I've done with it now. I've got it here somewhere. The old I got a transit van. You sent me the old police transit. Thanks for that, mate. And the biscuits was great. short crust biscuits, and I really enjoyed them. Thanks for that, Paul. I had a cup of tea with A and I enjoyed them. Mrs. had a few as well. She liked them. Yeah, thanks for that, mate. I've got to get a few parts of that one, as I did say in the reply on the email. But and there's something else. Who sent me this? I had a parcel last week, and I've been waiting for one from somebody for a long time, from Roy Glass, but it ain't from him. There's a couple of these here too. It's like promotional vehicles. There's little promotional vehicles. There's a little minivan with half a bumper missing, but that's nothing. And it's like RNLI, promotional vehicles, and a dinky fire engine. If whoever's there is watching and you sent this, could you let me know who you are? Send me an email or something, because I want to say thanks. Thanks, because there's some nice couple of little models here. I just want to say thank you to whoever it was and give you a mention. So whoever it was that sent that, please, drop me an email and let me know who it was. Anyway, let's get on with these questions and whatever. Dean Briggs, he what's this here? He's on about the old Rolls Royce I've done. Great job, Bob. Beautiful colour. Must be difficult trying to do all this on. Well, yeah, it is on camera. It is, mate. You got to reach it. I don't know if anyone can see it. There's me tripod thing. I've got it sort of clamped to the bench, and I can move it like a long ear. And I usually put it in the middle ear. And the trouble is, you're like reaching around trying to look at stuff, and when you got to force something, it's a bit difficult. But I got there. Well done. After all that's missing is a figure of Parker. I don't know what you mean by that, mate. Well done. Cheers. Parker is the other Rolls Royce, the Fab one, not this one. But anyway, thanks for your comment. Keith Holden, excellent paint choice. bloody new screens get me every time. Nice job, mate, Stacey. Yeah, these Repro screens, they are crap, really. I mean, you do get the odd one that will fit nicely, but they just, you've got to fet them around and fiddle around with them. They're not exactly the same sort of specs as Corgi made, because they're like copied from an original, I suppose. You ain't going to get it like sort of dead on, is he? So, but I mean, it's better than nothing. If you ain't got nothing, you've got to buy them, haven't you? Constantino Rizzi. Hey Bob, it's really easy taking apart, but always a pain when putting it back together. Yeah, always something that I'm impressed you didn't whip it against the wall. Anyways, another little gem saved, and great resto. Nice colour choice. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I felt like chucking it against the wall a few times, especially when I'm trying to get the epoxy doors in there. Like Martin had the same problem with his. And the roof, like I said, the roof was bent on the top as well, the same as what his was. I don't know, like I said, it might be a dinky bloody casting floor, I suppose. I don't know, I suppose they must have had 2 floors in their models. Walter Roscoe. I was expecting at any moment to see a roller fly across the workshop. Somebody else noticed I was getting a bit tetchy with it. You got a lot of patience. You got the patience of a saint, Bob. Yeah, must have. Matt Pebble. Nice one, Bob. Great choice of colour change. There was a point in the video where it may have changed into a flying car like Chitty Bang Bang. See? Yeah. Anyway, Jeff Baker. Bob, a lot of fingering and a little bit of swearing. I didn't swear, did I? I can't remember that. I nearly did, I think. Unless you worked out what I was going to say. A lot of rethinking and being persistent, and a trimming of a window screen. You showed the patience as well as to be expected. You're a true professional in my way of thinking. I really enjoyed this video and learned a lot about repro parts and original parts not quite fitting properly. But Bob, you did an amazing restoration on the roads despite the difficulties with it. You and your missus take care. See you on your next build, my friend. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for that. Yeah, it can be, you know, trying sometimes, trying to do this. Ralph Cooley. Hi Bob, I've just started on doing dinky cars. Just like you to know, or just like to know where you get your parts from, like windows and tyres and any other bits and pieces. Ralph, do the same as everyone, mate. Just go on Google, go on the internet. You know, that's what I had to do when I first started out. I didn't ask nobody, but there's loads of model places around. Some's dear another. Like I say, the one I go to is Model Supplies when they're open, and there's another one called Dinky Club. That's a UK one as well. There's another one called Model Parts something, but I think that's abroad, and you've got to pay quite a bit on the postage, and a lot of the parts is pretty dear as well. Model Car Parts, I think it's called. I'm not sure, but I'll stick with Model Supplies when they're open. Just type in Steve Flowers on Google, and it'll come up with the website. Anyway, oh, Paul Power, here he is. Nice paintwork, colour and reproduction bits are to help, but they're not always quite right. No, they're not, mate. But overall, the finished job's excellent, and yet another model saved, and that is really the name of the game. The Biscuit Man. Thanks for keeping us sane for another week. Yeah, with all this crap going on, bloody coronavirus, bloody pain in the ass. About time it was all finished with. Now look at Sweden. They haven't had a lockdown, and they got less deaths than what we got. So it makes you wonder, doesn't it? But anyway, I'm not going to rant on about that. I could do, but I'm not going to. You don't hear about that. You hear enough about it on the bloody news. Don't hear about it on here as well. And finally, Mark O'Connor. Oh, he's on about the Simon Snorkel, because I've got to do that Simon Snorkel fire engine. I was saying I might not have any tyres for that, but I have got some tyres actually off of another. I found another one in the box with the same wheels, a truck. But yeah, I'm sure it's Ian Hully sent me it, and it's got tyres on it, and they look really good condition. So I'm going to use them for the fire engine to get it finished, if you know what I mean. But that one will be coming up in a couple, 2 or 3 weeks. The old Simon Snorkel. He hasn't got the boom, so don't worry about it, Mark. Don't go sending it, because I won't be able to do anything with it anyway, because I've already got the bits I need now. So thanks anyway, but you're okay, don't worry. But anyway, that's going to be it for now, folks. Don't want to keep the old yaps going too long, because it's, you know, I mean, sometimes these restorations go on for quite a while. You want to get on and see it. I expect half of these already scrolled through on the bottom anyway, to get me out of the way. But anyway, that's it for now. Until next week. This one here is this is Ian Hulley's donation again. He sent me loads of stuff. I've got quite a few of his to do yet, and this is the old Volkswagen breakdown truck. So enjoy this one. Catch you again next week, hopefully, if all going well. See you then. Okay, here we go. This is Volkswagen breakdown truck number 490, I believe. As you can see, the windscreen's got a crack in it. Apart from that, I mean, I've put the new set of tyres on it. There weren't any tyres on it. But apart from that, it's all there except for the toolbox, and that's about it. And a piece of the windscreen in the front, the split screen is missing, but that's nothing much to do. But little did I know, there was a surprise with this one when I took it apart, because the actual whole roof came off. So that all the struts there are all there, but the trouble is there's a lot of weakness, as you will see in just a moment. So anyway, let's get on and see what we can do with that. Right, folks, as you looked on the turntable, looking at this thing, it doesn't look too bad. I know I've put a new set of tyres on it, but looking at it, it doesn't look too much of a job. But there's this part missing. I bought this part, cost me bloody nearly £7 for this. But you need that because it, you know, it goes into there and all that, and you put the tyres in there. So I bought that part, and then when I took this thing to pieces, I've already took all this off. It's just a case of grinding away in underneath there to get these out. So I've already took all this off. The old tow bar comes out like that. But in the process of taking this thing apart, look. I mean, you know, I knew that front piece was gone, missing. I know I got to make a piece for there, but that there just literally almost, well, there was a very fine piece holding it on there, but it just totally came off. So I've got to be very careful with this piece, because all these arms is in the right place at the moment. I don't want to move them. So when I strip this, it's got to be done very carefully. The glass, well, that is shot. But I'll take it off that. Take all this off. Seats are alright. The under plate, that's alright. The base plate needs a clean up, you know, needs respraying. So that's nothing. But the main job of this one is getting all this right here. When I strip this, I'm going to have to be very careful not to move these struts, and same on this. I'm going to have to be very careful with that, because it's all been a clean break. If you can see, it's all broken off cleanly, and all this will fit back like that if I don't move anything. But obviously when I've stuck that piece back, once it's all stripped and I've stuck this piece back, I'm going to have to make a piece to go in the middle. Now, looking at the glass, as we know, Mr. Flowers is shut, so I can't get another piece of glass for this. So as down the middle there is a bar that goes down through the middle of here, I'm going to try and cut this piece out here and put another bit of plastic in there and use the old frame. So if I can cut this down carefully, I should be able to put another bit of plastic in there from another windscreen. So that's what I'm going to try to do now. Right, so what I've got here, if you remember the Rolls Royce I've done, I've cut the back piece off the back window because the back window was alright, but the front one on this one is all, well, it's cracking it. But I've noticed that the top piece on the front there, if I cut a piece out of here, that'll be plenty enough to put a new frame on that side of that glass. So if you bear with me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and cut this out. But the way I do it, I usually use a hot blade. I warm the blade up over a candle. Okay, what I do is I warm the blade up on a candle here, and all I want to do is make some lines down through here and get this to I mean, you can just keep scoring it and then just cut it off a bit at a time, but doing it this way, it's slightly easier. You can get a better score line like that. Just give it a score line like that, and then down there, it scores into the plastic a lot easier, if you know what I mean. And then across to there. You see how easy that scores through that plastic? I know the blade goes a bit black, but you know, you can help that. And if you do that and keep doing it, make sure it's nice and hot. And then gradually it will, that there should come out now. If I clean that blade, and get my little wire cutters, well, toe clippers actually they are. See, if you look at that now, that should, there is all these cracked up through there now. I'm going to have to watch that. See, that'll come out like that. I'm going to have to glue all this back now as well, because that's gone up through there, but luckily enough it's on the line, so it's going to be alright. So you just break it like that. I think I need another score line down through the top there, I think. But this is what you got to do, folks. I mean, if you can't get the bloody supplies, this is what you got to resort to. Let's try that bit again now. And there he goes. There. Now what you got to do there, you got to get another piece now to go in here. This has got to be tidied up, obviously. Get the muck off of there. But if you look there, I mean, that's come away there, like, as you can see. I can seal that with a bit of me this stuff here, because this is what I use, the old 5-second fix, because this dries clear and it's good stuff for doing windscreens. So I'm going to sandpaper these odd lines here, and I've got to cut out a square like that now out of this piece. So if you look there, look, I'm gonna have plenty of room there to cut a piece out of that. So if I'll do it my way. This is how I do it. Oh yeah, about there. About there. And about, oh, I'll drop the glass. So if I just cut a big piece out like that, I know it looks a bit crap the way I'm doing it, but that's the way I do things, isn't it? So anyway, I'm going to cut a square out of here, the same size as that, and then gradually sand it down until it fits it perfectly into that gap there, and we should have a new windscreen. Right guys, as it happens, I've cut this piece out. I was going to allow a bit, but I think I got a bit carried away. But luckily enough, it fits pretty good. If you see, it's not too bad. It lines up pretty good. So I'm going to put some of my old 5-second fix on here now, and I'm going to put this piece in. and then when it's dried I'm going to try it against the actual body, if you know what I mean. So we put a bit along there. I'll do this bit first, just to tack it. I've got my light on. So got the old light shining on that piece. Once you tack a bit, you're not too bad, because this stuff will fill up the gaps. Now that feels pretty good there. If you look on this side there, I'll put a bit along there now. There's a slight gap there. But this stuff, this will act as glass, and it will, you know, spread it over a bit. It'll harden up, and it'll go like hard plastic. I'm just hoping these lines ain't going to show up on the finished model, if you know what I mean. I'm hoping that all the struts is going to cover up all these bits, what I'm doing now. Fill that one up there. I'm hoping I measured it properly, because I have done before. I've had previous models with, you know, pieces broke like glass broke. And I've managed to sort of rescue some of them just by fart-arsing around like this, because once it's all put back in the model you can't see it. Right, now if you look at that now, I mean, it doesn't look central, but I'm hoping I've got it. If I am, I am. You know, I mean, it's just one of them things, isn't it? But I'm gonna have a look at that, and I'll be right back and show you. Well, what do you think? If you look at it, it is slightly over on this side, but you know, once you got the bar in there, I don't think it's going to be too bad. It's, you know, I mean, it's better than having a dirty great line through there. You're only going to just slightly see some of this, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. And there's a bit showing there, but I mean, I can live with that. If I can't get the bloody parts, you know, you're going to have to do things like this. So yeah, I think that'll be alright. So right, I'm going to get all this stripped now. I'll let this harden up, this piece, before I give it a good polishing up and dipping. At least it's going to be better than what it was. And I'll be right back. Right, so as you can see, it's all cleaned up now. And these points here, I'm going to put glue on these points now to stick this roof back on, because I haven't moved anything, so it should all sit back on there nicely. I'm going to use my old tube for this because I'm not too fussed if it runs inside. There's a bit run in there, that. But I'm going to put a dab on each pillar. And hopefully, if I can line this up properly, we should get that to stick back. I'm going to have to use the bicarbonate, of course. And should probably put some in there. This is just really now, this is just to tack it. As you can see, it's looking, you know, how it should be. Right, if I leave that for a sec, I'm going to put my tube away now, and I'm going to use the wire now for the other bit. So I should be opening this up. Because I want me, what do you call it? Baking soda stuff on this, or baking powder, or whatever they call it, bicarbonate soda. So I'm going to use the old bit of wire for this bit now, because it's got to be a bit more sort of on target, if you know what I mean. And I'm going to have to do it inside. And up there, you know where it is. You just saw it. I'm going to put a blob in there and a big blob there. If we try to get most of it in behind, I mean, I might have to do some outside as well, because, you know, you're gonna see the joint, if you know what I mean. But if I put a big bit along each of them long pieces there, and then give me oh blimey, I haven't even got the top off yet. What an idiot. Right, and then oh well, do it with my fingers, why not? Who cares as long as it goes on it? Right. Get my little sweeping brush. Get it out of the way for now. I don't know what that's like out there. I might need a little dribble on the side there, because this is going to have to be rubbed down again anyway. So if you put a bit on there, then you can give it a little sprinkle. That should be enough, actually. So if we let that harden up, as you can see, all the points inside are all done. All I've got to do now, I've got to make a piece to go in there, and we should be able to bring this one back to life. So I'm going to do a little piece. What I'm going to use a piece off of here. I'm going to cut a piece of that off, and I'm just going to stick it in there, and then that should be good enough, you know, to support the rest. But this is all work now, what I didn't expect to have to do, because I didn't think this one was as bad as this. But you know, you never know until you take these bloody things apart what's going to happen. And when I took this one apart, the bloody roof came off, and I was a bit, you know, nonetheless to say, pissed off, you could say. When that happened, I thought, oh bloody hell, here we go, another lot of work. But anyway, I'm going to put that middle strut in. I'm only going to cut a bit of plastic, stick it in there, and then we'll get on with the old next bit, the old windscreen, and see if it all fits in alright. Okay, guy called Steve recently sent a message. He was on about how I print these stickers and decals and stuff like that. Well, this piece here, I've stuck all this together again now. I've glued that together. I didn't glue together on the original thing, but I wanted to have a nice tight thing because I've cleaned all this up for the back. And on the back of the actual thing, the towing thing, there's a chevron. A sticker goes across there. So all you do is you get a bit of, you got to get the size of it. So what you do is you get a bit of tape. This is how I do it anyway. How you do it, entirely up to you, but this is the way I do it. Push it right down on there, and then you got to try and trim that off. See, get it on there like that, and we want it on the inside of that. So this is the same with any decals. I mean, if you're on the side of a car or something, then you can't do it like this because you'll scratch your paint, obviously. But this is only metal at the back of this, but it's the same idea. You just get the size of the actual decal you want, like this. This is how I do it. So then, once you've done that, see, it's not going to peel off now straight, is it? Well, if I peel it off like that, oh, it's come off now. There you go. Peel that off, because that is going to be the size of our chevron. So then you stick it on a bit of card with a different colour background, like that. But you know, that's a general size that you want to scan. You put that in your computer, I'll show you in a minute, and we got to scan this because this will give us our actual size when we want to print this out again, if you get what I mean. But I will show you on the computer. But that's how I get the actual size from the, you know, for the part that I want. So anyway, I hope that's sorted that out. I should do that in a minute. In the meantime, that can go in the bin. We've got our cab. I've got it all undercoated. I stuck the middle strut in. I got a piece out, that piece of plastic I showed you, and I've stuck it in there. That all this has been tidied up on the edges of there where I put the old stuff, like, you know, the baking powder stuff. So it shouldn't look too bad if we put our screen in. When the screen goes in there, it's not going to look too bad. It's not brilliant, of course. And if you look, you can see a bit there where I've done the join, if you can see that. Try and zoom in a bit. There, you can see that little bit. You can see that bit there where I've done the join, but looking straight on, it's not too bad. That's my finger in there, if you can see that. And that's how it's meant to go. But, you know, if I put this together with a screw, then I can always get a new screen at a later date and replace that. But for now, this is going to be good enough, I think. So yeah, there you go. So we're going to be spraying this one up. I'll get the old screen out. I'm not going to bother dipping this. I'm going to leave it like it is, because I'm not, like I said, I'm going to put a screw in there to put that together. But it's coming along. See, this is the bit that I was on about. It goes on the back there. That glues on the back there. Well, it will be glued on the back when I do it. But there's meant to be a chevron. I'm out of camera range here. That goes on the back. There's meant to be a chevron on there, and that's the bit we're going to be doing now. I'm going to show you how to do that. Right. So what we do with this, put that in our printer or in the scanner part. Close the old scanner down like that. and then we go on our computer. So like I said, once we're on our computer, we go to where is it? It's here somewhere. I've got a scan. Ah, there it is. Click on the old scanner. Let that warm up, because we've got to scan that piece of card, you see. Because that, when that scans, it'll be the actual size of the actual sticker we want. So if I do a preview, get the printer, it's going to warm up first. Right, here we go. It's scanning. And there's our, oh, it's on thumbnail. I don't want that. I'll do that again. Okay, right. We'll do a preview again. I don't know why it's gone on to thumbnail. Don't want that. I want the whole page. There it is. That's our bit of card. So I'll scan that now, and that'll go into me pictures folder. Click OK for that. See, all this here is just rubbish really. It's just to get the actual size of the sticker. I mean, anybody watching this, I mean, you can do this with decals as well. If you want a certain size decal or decal, there it is, image tulip. So I'll minimise that a minute. Let's get rid of this. We're finished with the scanner for now. Now what we want now, if we go on the internet, we need go to Google. We need some chevrons. So what you do, just type in, I don't know, what colour are they? Yellow, red and yellow. They are. Red and yellow. Chevron. Oh yeah, that chevron. Click on that. Go to images. And then you got, there's your chevrons. No, yeah, that looks a good one. Click on that one. So we've got that. So we'll click on that again. So we just want that picture. So if you right click, save picture, and then that'll go in your downloads folder. Look, just click save. That's it. So you can come off the internet now. So we can go to there, go to downloads. There's our picture. So what I want to do now with that is cut that down slightly. So if I double click on that, it should open up my photo suite. So all you do is you cut it down in your photo suite, sharpen it up, whatever you want to do with it. There it is. I mean, you can auto fix here. I'll click on that, see what that does. Yeah, let's put a bit more colour into it. Okay. Right, so we can sharpen that as well if we want to. Auto fix again. And we want to crop this down slightly, so go to crop. So bring it down to about, I don't know, something like that. That's good enough. Bring it right down. Don't be afraid of it. Bring it right down to that, and then okay. Right, that's what we want. So save that, and then what we do then, minimize that. We go to pictures, and there's our bit of card. Open that up, what we just scanned. And then we've got to cut this down. Now we've got to crop this. So you crop this down. We actually cancel that. We'll rotate it first. If we rotate it that way, yeah, that's it. Because it's the chevron goes that way, doesn't it? So then we go to crop. Don't have to be too fussy with this, just get it down to the size of the card you scanned. Okay. There's our bit of tape. So then what you do then, you go to photo, open, create, insert photos and cutouts. And you've got to go to your downloads folder to get that chevron. So we go to downloads. There it is. Double click, open it up in there, and we've got to just resize this now. Get the actual length like that, and put it, paste it over the top. This is what you call copy and paste in all this business. And then you just get it like that. See, that's not far off actually. You can make it slightly smaller if you want, but that's near enough the size what we want for our things. So then you can print as many of these as you want. I mean, you can put one there and then you go right click on it, copy, and then paste, and there's another one there now. See, you go like that, look, and then you just go paste, and you got another one, paste, and you can just print off as many as you want, paste. So if you're going to do something, you might as well do a few of them. You never know when you want them again. Paste again. We'll do 6. You never know when you're going to need them, see? So you just will print quite a few off, and in the background of this you can actually, if you want to, fill all that in. Flood fill. If I go on flood fill, click on this, put it to white, and it's not even doing it. I don't know why, folks. I was doing a bit there, look. Oh, I don't want to do it. Oh well, never mind. But anyway, now that there, you can make that slightly smaller if you want. You save that, and that's saved. Now what you do with this then, you print this actual size. So you go up to print, and you just let it print on an ordinary bit of paper. Or if you put it on portrait and then move this down and go to actual size, and there you go. Just leave it there, don't move it up to the corners or anything like that. Leave it in the middle of a bit of A4 paper and click print. Here we go. The printer's waking up, so now you'll print that piece off. That's it, that's all there is to it. And then all you do is you get I'll shut the door up again. Now all you do now where is it? I've got some here somewhere. I need a bit of photo paper. There we go. I've got so much rubbish here, I'm telling you, this desk needs a good clean. Unbelievable. You get a piece of photo paper like this, and all you got to do, just cut off that. Because I'm making stickers with this, I'm not doing decals. If it's decals, you get a piece of decal paper and what you do is you tape that over that, because this is how you sort of save on your decal paper instead of using the whole sheet. So what you do is you put a bit of paper there. I've got the mic here somewhere. You can hear me, folks, but I keep forgetting to put this mic on. And you get your bit of paper there, and all you do is tape it over like that. I use a Stanley blade for this because it's easier to cut. Get one piece there. Try and get it close to the edge as you can, because you don't want to. And then all you got to do then is click print again, but this time I'll show you. I'll move that up a bit. We got to feed it into the back. Let's get this bloody old sellotape out of the way, and that's just hampering me. So what we do then, we go back to here and we change the settings, and we go to rear paper feed slot. I mean, I don't know what printers you've got, everybody, but this is how it works on mine. And you change that to photo quality inkjet, so you get a better quality print. And then you click OK. And then what you do then is you click print again. And this time, you grab your paper the same way as it came out that way. And then you put it in the back of your printer. You wait for the instructions on here. I mean, all your lot of setups could be different than this, probably will be, but this is how my setup works. It tells me on there, and then it tells you when to put there. There it is. It's come up now. That so you let the paper just drop down as far as it goes. Easier said than done sometimes when you're reaching over. That's as far as it goes. And then you press start, and then that's it. Really, it just comes out. And there you go. And then all you do is you put some double-sided tape on the back of these when you cut them out, and you've got your little stickers to put on the back. That's it. So I hope that's explained it for some of you people that, you know, are not sure how it's done. That's how I do it. And like I say, it's the same process if you're doing a decal, but obviously on decals you've got to spray. You know, once you've printed this and let it dry, you've got to spray it over with lacquer and then let it dry again before you use them. But that's how I get them to the size that I need. So I hope that's put everybody straight. Anyway, let's get on and put one of these on the back of that tow hitch and see how the old van's turned out. Right, as I said, all we've got to do is get a bit of tape. Get a bit of this. I can stop it sticking to my bloody fingers. And we cut off one of these. These are a good little pair of scissors I got down in the old bargain shop. These here, they're ever so sharp. In the women's makeup department, 99p. And they're ideal for cutting decals and stuff like that out, you know. But you just cut it out like that. Stick it on. And then you cut it out again, obviously. Cut off the excess. It's the only trouble with cutting the sticky stuff. It gets all over the bloody scissors, and then they don't want to cut them. But these here, it's very rare I have that trouble with these. I'm trying to stay in shot here. Anyway, cut it out like that. Get off of my fingers. And then I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a bit of rubbish. I'll chuck that aside. We get our thing up there, and then that just sticks on the back of there. So I'll get a blade so that I can get behind the tape. There we go. Peel the tape off, and then we stick our sticker on, and there you go. That's how I do it. So now he's got his chevrons back, chevron sticker, and that's how you do the well, that's how I do them anyway. I mean, everybody's got their way, but when that goes on the back now, it covers up that little split in the thing as well. That's the idea of it, I think, is to cover up that little gap, because there is a little gap and that goes through these when you clamp them together. So every time you sort of take it apart, you're going to have to replace the chevron. But I can take it apart another 5 times because I got a load of them. But there you go. Anyway, because they could come in handy for someone else. You see, you might as well print quite a few if you're doing it. When you're doing the stickers, you might as well print more than one. So there you go. Anyway, okay, all ready to go. I'm using you can see that Ford, I can't see it, Ford Jasmine. That's the nearest colour I've got. Can't really do any other colours because I can't buy any paint at the moment, so gonna have to do, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that's going to have to do for now. I'm going to have to let that dry because yellow, or jasmine, or whatever you want to call it, the yellow seems to be a very hard colour to spray because you always get these lines that show up. So we're going to let that dry off, and I'm going to have to give that a few more coats. But anyway, you get the general idea. It ain't far off the original. I'll switch this fan off a minute. It ain't far off the original colour. So I'll let that dry, and I'll give it a few more coats off camera, and there you go. That's the colour it's going to be, and the old badge will be painted back to the red. And well, I don't think it looks too bad at the moment. It's coming out pretty nice. So there you go. Okay, folks, I've been a bit busy, and I've put the chrome on. I haven't used Molotow, I've just used ordinary silver because it looks more realistic, I think. What a pain in the bum that was to paint that badge on there. I put the old lights on there and all that, done the back. So anyway, I'm happy with how this has come out. This cab's looking pretty good. There's no gaps anywhere. It's all filled in, and it seems to be stuck on alright. So what I'm going to do now, next bit, we're going to put this piece on. What I'm going to do with that, I'm going to put a few little bits of glue here just to tack it first, and then afterwards I better put that in before I forget, because knowing me, I will forget. The toe itch. Better put it in. But I'm going to put a few bits on there just to tack it. Bit on there, bit on there. so as I can go underneath then. That'll do. And fill up the spaces in the bottom. So that all that does is pushes down like that. So we'll load that for a sec. Let that just take a minute. Nice little click there you can hear. And then we can turn it upside down. And this bit here, I've got to put a load of glue around there and use the what do you call it? The powder to set it. So we'll just put a load around there. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to keep it in shot if I can, because none of this is going to be seen anyway when the base plate's on. I'll make sure there's plenty there to hold it, because I don't want this coming off. And as I said with this one, I haven't got a decent screen for it at the moment, so what I'm going to do is put it together with a I think that'd do. Bloody hell. I think that'd do. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to put it together with a screw. I've got a little tiny screw here I'm going to use for now, until I get a screen through. So I'll let that go a minute. That should be enough to hold that. Well, I'll get rid of that bit a minute, that dust. And there you go. There, that should be enough to hold that in there now. I know it looks a bit horrible, but you know, that's what you got to do. Can't do much about that, I'm afraid. The only way you can put that one back on is glue it on, because there's no way you get, well, you could get rivets in there I suppose, but it's more bother than it's worth really. Right, the screen, I'm just going to drop it in. Saying that, you don't want to go in there now. Drop the screen in like that, put the old steering wheel in. The rest of it's pretty straightforward actually. Drop the seats on there. So there isn't much to this one really. Putting it together again. And then we get our base plate. There's a little tab on the back. You see, that goes in the old slot there. I should have touched that up a bit there really, but that can be done at a later date when I get my new screen. And we push that down. I won't push down on the cab, because I'll use that. Push down on that bit there. Right, let's put our little screw in. And we'll get that one screwed in. And that should do that for now. And then we'll put our toolbox in. That just pushes through like that. Oh, hang on a minute. Jumping the gun here a bit. It's got a slot underneath. It's got a slot underneath the old thing at the back. Can't get the bloody thing out now. Oh, bloody hell. And this is a simple bit. No, me, I'll scratch all the bloody paint up now. Come out. Come out, that's it. Right, your slot's underneath. Down the back there. That bit's got to go underneath that. And then you push it down. There. And there you go. You got the spare tires there. I think another tire, big tire goes in there, I think. I'll have to dig one out to go in there. Could have a look now actually. I might have one in me old tire box. Let's see if I can find a nice tire to go in there. I want a decent looking one, don't I? I don't want a mucky one. I don't want a scruffy old thing, do I? It's no good going to a breakdown with a scruffy old tire, is it? Oh yeah, that one don't look too bad. Put it in there and maybe, I don't know, put a small one in there as well. And there you go. I don't think that top has stayed down very well. The hinges are pretty new, so. And there. Oh well. And there's our little breakdown truck. Got the thing on the back, the old hazard thing. And that's it. So get rid of all this rubbish. I'll put it on the old turntable and we'll have a better look. Well folks, if you remember, this is what we started with. Looking pretty sorry for itself, to be honest. It looks in need of a breakdown truck itself. Very tatty. Well, we had a lot of trouble with the roof, as you saw in the video. Didn't realise that was gone as bad as it was. Replaced the front strut and give it a bloody good clean up really. And anyway, afterwards, when we done our magic on it, I was quite surprised how good it come out actually. I know the screen needs replacing still, but take a look at it now. As you can see, what a difference. Got a new toolbox. All the tyres are in the back ready for a breakdown. All cleaned up, new paint job. Glass has been, semi-restored. It's not perfect, but it'll do for now. And the rims has come up nice. A good day of polish with the old Dremel, and I'm very pleased how they come up, very shiny. But, I don't think he looks too bad now. I think he's ready for going out on patrol now. So anyway, if you like this video, please watch again when I come back very soon. I'll try and get back as quick as I can with another one, but until then, it's bye bye from me.